time to discuss operations and expenses. It's time, it's really time to elevate small businesses. It's time for Joe to drop his knowledge, it's relentless. This rhyme of mine is getting a bit ridiculous. So here we go, we're live with Joe. Enjoy the show.
What is up, Fence fam? Joe Everest, the fence expert, coming to you live from the Expert Professional Wood Care Studios. If you've been watching the channel at all in the last week, you know we're finally kind of back home. We've been coming to you live previous this week from the Know Before You Go studio. Thank you, Dylan Blanc, for naming that for us. Also, if you've watched the channel for any length of time, you already know my guest. But for the one or two people that might not, how about an introduction?
Sure. I'm Caroline Allison. I'm the marketing manager at Nationwide Industries and Lockheed USA.
Nice.
I'm Eric Johnson. I'm the vice president of sales for Nationwide Industries and Lockheed USA.
Very good, very good. And if like I said, if you watch the channel at all, a month ago or so, we were down in Tampa. We did a live from there with a little bit larger table. We had a few more Nationwide friends with us.
Right, yeah.
I was, guys, before this, I did say I was going to say you were my favorite Nationwide people, but then I was like, oh, Eric Timothy might be upset with that, and Mike Falconer might listen. We can't play
Start
favorites.
naming people, and then now you're going to leave someone out, and they're going to be upset as well. So,
exactly. Nicole's going to be
Russell Rounds,
right? Russell.
Right.
I mean, now stuff will start getting misshipped maybe on accident.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay. Sorry, I apologize. No. Yeah, so guys, we just got back from Fence Tech.
Yep.
I just got back. You guys haven't got back yet from Fence Tech. You're still on the road home, so to speak.
One more day. Yep.
How was Fence Tech for you guys?
It was amazing. We had, Oklahoma City was great. That venue actually was really good, and just the amount of people that were coming through the booth was phenomenal.
Yeah, we had our biggest booth. We had 4 brands, which is our first time we've ever done all 4 brands.
That's
under
right.
Essentially one umbrella, one booth, Ultratech, Lockheed, Grip-Rite, and Nationwide. And then, of course, we had the escape room.
Yes.
We shipped out the big winner, the Yeti bundle, to Kim Dable
Excellent.
yesterday from Wisconsin. She had 1 minute and 21 seconds in that escape room.
Do you want to tell your time, Joe, or no? I mean, you set the bar, and then
I set a bar. I set a bar.
That's how high it was.
Yeah, it was 5 minutes and 40 some odd seconds.
The first person to go through it, though. So,
right. That's true. Yeah. And small part of me says maybe they saw the live where I went through it.
I believe
that's got to be what it was.
I'll go with that.
Someone commented on that live. They're like, this guy's not very good at finding things. I said, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. I wasn't very good at finding things at all. But it was a lot of fun. It was. And it was the first of its kind, really. Like an interactive type situation where a lot of the booths or your typical booth would be, here's the things we offer, maybe here's a new product, and let's explain it. Whereas with the escape room, you actually had to use the tools that you guys offer, the fittings you guys offer. I thought that was really good. That was really entertaining.
Yeah, I think the marketing team did a great job of setting that up, and just the like you said, bringing all the brands together and then using them through the escape room was a great idea. So
and so it started off for you guys that didn't go through it. It was you had to find 4 numbers, and you had to find them while interacting with the brands within the family of companies, right? So it started off with you had to loosen a cable rail, which that was interesting because I didn't have experience with the cable rail system. So as soon as I was loosening it, I went, yes, this is good. I like, because you're like, immediately I thought, well, this is really easy to untension. This is good. Like, oh, this is a great idea. It gets people using the product. And then there was the Trident latch, which I missed that one. I missed that number. I was so hyped to get through. I went right through it. Then we were doing with some Grip-Rite screws. We had to find one at the Grip-Rite screws. And then the final number was how many brands were on the brand wall. I was like, it was a really good setup. It was. I had a lot of fun. I think a lot of people went through it, it seemed like.
Yeah, we had easily over 150 people, I'd say, go through it.
Wow. From a branding perspective alone, that was fantastic. It was really, really well done. And then you had the air horns. So everyone knew when someone was going through.
We did, yeah. That first day we did the air horns, and we had to almost revive a few people, so we had to go ahead and stop that on day 2. We just felt like didn't know what our insurance policy was on
Right.
that, so we settled down on the
See if
air
it
horns.
covered heart attacks or anything like that.
Right, yeah. So,
Oh no, it was
Well done,
really
for
what
sure.
I like the air horns personally.
Yeah.
Visually,
Yeah.
because they were orange, but
bet.
but it is. I went through it, and so I knew what to expect. And it still caught me off guard a couple times. Kind of jumped a little bit, jump start to heart. And, oh, okay, yeah. But no, it was really good.
Yep.
It was really good. It was a nice display, a nice mix of all the different brands. So
right.
I'm glad you guys had a good show. I had a good time. If you guys watch the channel, you know we broadcast from there on Wednesday. So the show opened at noon, and that ribbon cutting ceremony was something else.
it was, yeah.
I was actually already in the show, but I still got to catch the drum line.
Yeah.
I didn't know what in the beginning. I didn't know what this was. We were sitting around kind of chatting. It was like, what
happening?
is that? Is that drums? Is this? It was like, oh, this sounds like a drum line. And sure enough, those guys were good.
Yeah, it was really good.
They're really good.
Now, I don't know if they do that every year. This is my first year at Fence Tech.
Was it?
I think, yeah, Braden's as well, right? And so, but first year there, and so, yeah, I was excited about
Let's
it.
think. So last year, it was New Orleans, but I don't know if they had a performance before. I know they had like a Mardi Gras float at the
Okay.
very front.
Yeah.
And they were throwing beads as they did a ribbon cutting as people came in there throwing beads.
Pretty cool as well.
Yeah, it was really. It seems like AFA has a pretty good introduction to the show, no matter where they go. So, guys, if you're watching this live, be sure to drop your questions and comments in the comments below. If you're listening to this as a podcast, this is a recorded live of a recent show we did on Saturday. So we do these live shows every Saturday from 10 to 11 Central. I usually bring on friends to talk to that I think you guys should know because typically they're people that I enjoy doing business with. Not typically, they are people I enjoy doing business with, or friends in the industry, that sort of thing. So if you'd like to have one of your questions brought up live, be sure to check us out on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, and we will answer your questions live. So let's say hi to a few people. Roger Bencourt was here early. He said, hey, Fence fam, I might even make this one. Roger, so glad to have you. Chris Caruso's with us, Ozark Distributors. Hey, Joe, watching live from Philly. Chris, good to have you. A. Warren says, hi, folks, with a wave. Hello. Charles Viner says, hello, everyone. I'm watching from Davenport, Iowa.
Very nice.
Hello, Charles. Appreciate you tuning in. Friend of the show, Brent Mitch, says, let me grab my popcorn. Brent, I appreciate that. Brent is from California. Okay. I live vicariously through Brent's YouTube. He's a scuba diver, and so he'll do some hunting videos via scuba diving, and I live vicariously through him. Because often here in Missouri, it is not warm enough to go scuba diving.
That's right.
Stevie Boy Billings, now this is someone we know. Yeah. We know Stevie. Says, good afternoon, Joe, and all the Fence fam. Good afternoon, Stevie. I actually shared your comment with Caroline and the Nationwide team that you had left on a video yesterday. A. Warren says, Okie in the stick. So, hello from Oklahoma. Stevie says, Roger is an OG. Got to give it to Roger. He's been with us probably, I don't know about the longest. I don't know how to verify that, but he's been with us for quite a while. All right. Eric Nutson, what is up, Eric? Says, in transit home from introducing Fence Genius at Fence Tech. What a great time. Eric, I apologize for not getting by your booth. When we did a show walkthrough, I did come by and see it. Impressive booth. Very impressive. I'm excited to see your company grow. Jeremy, hello. Coming from Texas. Hey, Fence fam, checking in from Panther City. I want to go there just to go there.
I don't even know what Panther City is.
Sounds amazing.
Well, we know Jeremy's from Texas.
Okay.
So maybe Panther City is in Texas. Or maybe not. Jeremy, inquiring minds would like to know.
Yeah.
Fort Worth. Apparently it's Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. Oh, this makes sense. Okay. Jeff Graff. What's up, Jeff? Says, what's up, Joe, and the great people at Nationwide Industries? My palm nailer was delivered. Going to be dropping a thank you video soon. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Jeff.
Yeah, make sure to tag us.
So what Jeff is talking about is the palm nailer So we did a giveaway when we did a live Q&A from Tampa.
Yep.
Jeff was the winner of the palm nailer. These things are incredibly handy.
Yep.
Now, I appreciate you bringing a couple more because
right.
they're so handy that mine on my desk grew legs and walked away. Wound up on one of the service trucks, which
It happens.
arguably is probably where we want it.
Right,
We want it
right.
in service for sure. We'll probably talk about these in a little while, but the palm nailers are
One of the hottest items we sell. So, yeah.
they're probably one of my favorite tools right now. They
Mine as
really
well,
are.
yeah.
Well, the nice thing is, so as the title would say, they fit nicely in the palm. They're light,
Yep.
so they're not really heavy, and they can get in just all nooks and crannies.
Yep.
Which is why Scott grabbed it off my truck. He had a
right.
project where he had to have a weird angle. So
I think I said on the last podcast, I like to just find projects to use them just
Right.
because it's fun to use.
Right.
And it's a great tool. And so, yeah. It's,
yeah, can I make this a little bit more difficult and
That's
put it at a
right,
weird
yeah, right.
angle?
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. So Jeff, let us know how that works. Be sure to tag Nationwide Industries in the video.
absolutely.
Roger Bencourt. Roger's like the best person at reminding people to do the affirmations. So if you wanted to leave a like, you can do that. But Facebook now doesn't include likes in their algorithm because it's an easy affirmation. You can just click like. So now you have to hold down the like button and do a heart. Let's see what we've got here. Well, so far, Ashley Roth and Fencing Unlimited have given us a like. Thank you so much. But they can also be the hearts, the laughing face, there's like an angry face. I'm okay with that because they're not negative. So
Okay, yeah.
just give us an affirmation that you feel is most warranted on the show.
Okay.
We will even take mad face. I hope no mad faces, but Bo DeVore, what is up, Bo? Says, good morning, Joe and friends from Nationwide Industries, tapping in from Oregon. Morning, Bo.
Love Oregon.
Oh, we know this person.
Yeah.
Lindsay Fox, hello. Says, what was a new product from FenceTech you'd like to try when installing fences? What a great segue. So, we're going to talk about it here in a second. But, we're going to talk to you guys about this particular. Why don't you introduce the product and then we'll demo it here in just a second.
Sure. So this is our brand new product. It will be launching this year. It's called the Trident Safe Signal.
Safe Signal.
Essentially, it is the upgraded, more safe version of our current Trident magnetic pull latch. So once you open the latch, it will send out just a quick beep, an alert that says, hey, your pull latch is open, the latch has opened, and then if it stays open and the striker doesn't hit properly, it will start alarming, which helps with pool safety.
I like it. As a dad to a adventurous child, I can appreciate this. I can appreciate this a lot. We're going to demo it here in just a little bit, but Lindsay, this was probably my favorite. But I would guess it was probably the crowd favorite.
It was. It got a lot of attention right there in the front of our booth, and like you said, most people came by and said, we need this because a lot of codes are actually starting to require it as well.
Okay.
And I'm glad for that.
Makes
because,
sense.
As you said, you don't want your kids being in the pool area without you knowing about it. So,
No.
it was definitely hot.
Well, and it makes sense that they're starting to pop up in code. So we've got a county here, Christian County. So if you have an exterior door of the home that leads into the pool area, the door has to have a door chime.
Okay.
So if the door opens, you know that the door to the pool is open. So it makes sense that this would start to be included in those codes. We'll do a demo of this here in just a little bit, but suffice to say, it's noticeably loud, which is what you want.
That's right.
Right. Even we were talking a little bit about how loud FenceTech was. It was a loud show. You could still hear people opening it. And we were, it was mostly in a booth, kind of catty corner from you guys, behind a little bit. And we were doing interviews and that sort of thing. But occasionally I would still sit there and I'd hear it. I'm like, that works.
Yeah,
that works really well. If I can be, at least 50, 60 feet away in a really loud enclosed room and still hear it.
Yeah.
You got to think that you can hear it from the backyard as well.
Yeah, high pitch, ear piercing, and that's what we want. We want it to be very annoying. So you go back there and take a look at your pool area. So,
Absolutely. We'll do a demo here in just a little bit. But Lindsay, if you're asking me what my favorite product was, this is definitely it. And it's a product we're already comfortable installing. We already use the Trident, depending on the application, either the 10-inch or the 20-inch. And frankly, we sell a lot of them as well. So it's a pretty popular item in general, both with us as an installation side, also on the retail wholesale. And one thing we talked about in a video we did with the item is if you're comfortable with installing Trident latches, you can install these.
Absolutely.
It's the same hardware.
Same
right?
hardware, yep, for sure.
One, I don't remember if we brought it up or not, but is this swappable with a Trident?
Yes, so it's the same bracket. So
Okay.
when you're installing a Trident, you can really just take off your old, shouldn't say old, your
Sure.
regular Trident magnetic pull latch and
Yeah.
swap it out for the Trident safe signal.
So it's an easy upgrade.
Absolutely.
Very good. Very good. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the recorded video we did, and if I didn't include that, I need to include that because I think that's important. If I had a pool where I already had the Trident latches in, this is an easy upgrade.
Absolutely,
I would want this. And we'll do the demo of it here in just a little bit. But great, Lindsay, great question. Jeremy says Fort Worth has a lot of nicknames. Okay, all right. Panther City is one of them. Jeff Graff was talking about the palm nailer, says they come in clutch on deck framing and in tight areas.
Absolutely.
And I sure will. And that was, when we were talking about them, that's one of the key use cases for it,
Yep.
right, was joists and decks.
Yep.
But we don't build a lot of decks here, but we do build fences. And you do find yourself in some tight places, in
right.
corners and up against houses, that sort of thing.
Yep.
Enough to where, like I said, Scott absolutely just yanked mine right off the desk. All right, guys, if you've got more questions or comments, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. So we talked a little bit about the palm nailer. So I said we're gonna talk about it a little bit. I think we've talked about it a lot. So it's got it says it's got a 7-year warranty on it.
Yep.
Now that is we're gonna watch a video here in a little bit, but that sounds a lot like the Red Promise.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Red Promise is basically that we will stand behind all of our tools and fasteners as well. So stands for reliability. They're reliable tools. They're efficient tools, and they're durable tools. So
Okay.
everything that we have on the tool line has a 7-year warranty, and
Nice.
and it has a 90-day satisfaction guarantee. If you
Okay.
take it out of the package, it's not working for you, bring it back. We'll swap it out for something that does.
Fantastic. So you guys put a nailer in my guy's hands. A grip right nailer in my guy's hands, and I tell you what, they are incredibly impressed with this nailer.
Yep.
It works well. So, just for some feedback, what they really like. So Justin on the crew, Scott's field supervisor. Justin's on one of his crews. His feedback. So I was talking to him about the show because I knew I was getting ready to see you guys.
Yep.
So at the lawn and garden show, they were nailing up some fence for me, and I said, "All right, guys, give me some feedback." They had used it for a few weeks. So I said, "What do you guys think?
Right.
Give me some honest feedback on it." Justin's feedback was, "This tab is nice.
Okay.
So it keeps the nails from sliding around in there." I don't know if we can show it. Yeah, we can show it. So it's right here. So it's a tab that kind of depresses inside where the nails sit in. So basically it keeps the coiled nails in the center.
Yep.
So it keeps them forced towards the middle. We had used a different brand in the past, and that was always a problem.
Yeah.
Where they would always get caught up, it seems like. But yeah, so they like it. It's really durable. Now, they've only used it for a few weeks.
Yep.
So we haven't gotten to the durability portion, but Scott said it feels substantial in the hands. So for him, it was a win. But it's fairly light, too.
Yeah,
that was one thing I noticed.
Yeah, absolutely. You're carrying this thing around 8, 10, 12 hours a day.
Yep.
You need it to be a lightweight. So
Absolutely.
when they were designing that, they made sure that it's the lightest siding and fencing nailer on the market. It's got the sequential trigger on it, so if you want to do bump fire, you can do that as well.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, and it's got a really nice. So the hanger feels really solid too.
Yeah,
and that's an important piece
Yep,
of this
absolutely.
because our other ones are all broken.
Okay. Yeah, right.
So this is a very important piece.
Yep.
Feels, again, part of the Red Promise is
Yep.
going to be durable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, it hooks up to your regular air supply just
Yep.
like anything else would. Very
Absolutely.
good. Very good. I am. You guys will start seeing these in some videos. So Scott and them use it. They really like it. I asked them to use it for probably a month or two and then give me some more detailed feedback. Yeah, they actually have. they've got a really big job coming up. It's 1,200 boards, so would that be 600 foot or so? So they're going to use it for that, and that would be a really good test.
Yep. Shoots up to 2.5 inch. Shoots plastic or wire collated.
Nice.
So, yep.
Nice. Yeah, it'd be good. So those big jobs are really a good test for, as they heat up, how do they perform? How do they act? That sort of thing.
Right.
So I'm excited. We had talked off air about us bringing on more of the guns. Scott had said, please get me some more. He said, I've used it for a few weeks. He said, but I'm ready to say I need some more of these guns. So
Good.
We talked a little bit about also the serviceability of the guns.
Yep.
So you guys have a service program for those as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 700 authorized service centers across the country. So we have that as well. And then we have a what we call red tub program. We stick with the red. You know, I know you're orange.
Sure.
With the red, but the red promise goes with the red tub as well. So we have a service center in Texas where we send all of our tools back if they need repair. So
very good, very good. So that's something I'm looking forward to, is having reliable guns. But we all know that even reliable items have wear and tear items.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
It. So looking forward to working with you guys on that as well.
So are we.
Jeff has a question. Oh. First, Sarah's here.
Hi, Sarah.
Caroline. There you go. We've got a question specifically. So what degree nailer is it? It's a 15 degree?
Yeah, that one is a 15 degree. We also make a 0 degree, and then we all sorts of guns where 21 degree framing nailers, and so
There you go.
The one we have there is 15.
Well, it's easy to identify too. Right, so you can use 15 degree coil siding or 15 degree, plastic or metal.
Or wire. Yep.
Nice, very good. And the nails are the next thing. So Grip Right also offers nails that shoot in the gun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm glad you guys brought the wire, because those are the ones that Scott really likes using.
Good.
The 15 degree wire weld. There's no talking to Scott about this. So previously we had used the plastic collated nails. We said there's nothing worse than on a windy day chasing those plastic coils all over the yard, through the neighbor's yard, that sort of thing.
Right.
One of our problems with those nails too is we couldn't use them all. So, and this could be partially with the gun. So to Justin's point on the gun, it has the tab that keeps them centered.
Yep.
So, but their main problem was they couldn't use the last like 20 nails or so.
That's right.
It would jam up and just wouldn't act right. They try stripping a few nails out, trying to reload it, still ends up misfiring. So apparently there is a tub in one of our trucks, in our wood truck, that has just a whole host of last 20 or 30 nails. From a financial standpoint, I don't enjoy hearing that.
Yeah.
We've got some money just sitting in tubs apparently.
When you think about it, I mean, the full box 3,600. If you're getting rid of 240 nails out of every box, that adds up. And
it absolutely does.
So we have the Grip Right. Again, the promise is the Grip Right jam-free guarantee. You have problems with the nails, let us know. We'll replace them. We'll get them to you. But we've been doing this for over 50 years on the fastener side, and I think we've got a great product there. So
absolutely, and that was Scott's feedback, was that they're running clean, they're shooting nicely, and they're shooting throughout the entire coil. Which is definitely what we like to hear. Now, one thing that was impressive when I was at your guys' Tampa facility, you guys stock a ton of Grip Right SKUs.
That's right.
Not just so I don't know what I expected. I guess I expected going to Nationwide, seeing a lot of Nationwide, and there is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Nationwide in the facility, but there is a lot of Grip Right, a lot of Locky. So I noticed there's like entire aisles of Locky there as well.
That's right.
So you guys don't just stock ready to ship Nationwide. You guys stock a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we do, and the other thing, and we have a good variety of product there, but every once in a while you'll have somebody call and they use a different nail. We also have 34 different distribution centers across the country. So if we don't have it in Tampa, we can ship it from Seattle. We can ship it from California, wherever you're at. So we also have that ability to go from anywhere in the country as well.
Well, and one thing I was impressed with, I didn't even know you guys have a distribution center here in Springfield.
We do, yeah.
So we had asked to demo some screws, and the response back was no problem. I went ahead and checked. They're in the DC there in Springfield. You can go by, pick them up at will call.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, that's service.
That's right.
And that was that. From me sending the email asking if we could demo them to the reply back that they are ready for pickup was the same day.
Yeah.
So in our your experience may vary, right? So it depends what's in stock and where the
Sure,
center
absolutely,
is.
yep.
But I like that is an answer.
Yep.
That it's ready for pickup. So
Yeah, and we stock them in Tampa. As we obviously, if you're buying hinges from us, we want to ship them with it. So we
Yeah.
got a good amount of inventory there, but that's the other option, right?
Well, I thought that was interesting too, and we touch on that in the Tampa videos, in that you can mix and match shipments as well.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
since you house it all there at the facility, say I need some cornerstone hinges, I need some Trident latches, which that's normal; those can go together. But I also need some nails, or I need a few more nail guns, or I need a compressor.
Right.
Those can ship as well.
Yep,
if they're in
absolutely.
stock, of
Yep,
course. But
absolutely.
I thought that, and same thing with Lockheed. So I've got a project that might need some hinges, some Trident latches, but also has a security gate that could really use a Lockheed latch. They can all ship same shipment without having to track multiple
they
shipments
can.
in.
Right.
Talking about shipments, and guys, this is absolutely going to sound like a sales pitch, but I'm sharing with you my honest experiences. The shipping process is incredibly fast. Like, I can tell from a customer's point of view, you guys obviously hold that in high regard, or hold that to a high standard of how quickly things ship out.
Yeah, we take a lot of pride in that, and we understand that a lot of contractors, believe it or not, are not really thinking 2 weeks out, and so we want to get those out the door next day, 2 days, whatever. So
I've had experiences. So I deal with Russell there, so I had emailed Russell, said, hey, we need X loop caps or something to fulfill an Amazon order or something like that. The response comes back like within an hour. All right, we got your shipment ready to go. And then it was like 2 days later, shipment is waiting here.
Yeah.
What is this? Like, the experience for me was not typical.
Yeah.
That it shows up pretty quickly. We've talked about it on the show that we order in a lot of our chain link fittings from you guys.
Right.
We get the correct items that we order, and they're in really good condition too. And that we had done a call, just kind of a feedback call, and that was one of the pieces of feedback, especially on the black coated. You guys do an exceptional job. I don't know where that feedback needs to go, but whoever's in charge of the black coated program needs to know they're doing an incredibly good job.
Yeah,
it's packaged really well. They're individually packaged to where they're not worried about, because you're worried about them getting scuffed.
Yep.
Pulling them out of a brand new package, looking at them and going, well, I've got to try to recoat this, or I've got to try to do something to fix it. Incredibly impressive. And guys, that's why these were all my experiences before Nationwide came on as a sponsor. And so that's why when we talked about it, it made perfect sense, because this was an experience that I was sharing with people before the sponsorship. So I'm already telling people that they should use you guys where they can, as they can, especially when we talked about that it's not just Nationwide now. We also have access to Grip Right products, which I asked Scott, I said, hey, honest opinion, Grip Right products, we have access to them now. What are your thoughts on nails? I said, can we get them yesterday? He goes, I love Grip Right. We've used Grip Right in the past, but we moved away from them to this other, but I really would love to go back to Grip Right if we can. Yes, we absolutely can, and we've got some stuff coming. So my guys enjoy using the Grip Right products, also the Nationwide too. We use a lot of the Cornerstone 2 hinges. We use a lot of the chain link self closers, a ton of those, just really well built. So you guys obviously put a lot of emphasis into quality, and you obviously in the manufacturing process put a lot of thought into quality control too. It's not uncommon to find. I mean, everyone's human, right? You're gonna find just flaws here and there. Sure. I don't know. I'd have to ask our Eric here that does our e-commerce, but I don't know that we found. I don't know what the defect rate is, but it's got to be close to zero. As I'm thinking about coal piles or coal bins that we've got, there's not a lot of Nationwide stuff in there, if any at all.
Yeah, great to hear. And I think as you said, there's going to be some things that get through for sure.
Yeah.
I think you talked about Russell earlier, just their speed of taking care of the problems, and our customer service team as well. Yeah, great.
Russell's always great. I typically email because that's easier for me, but I've called in a few times. Always quick to answer. And here's what I like about Russell, and probably for the team as a whole, is I'm not sure, but I can find out for you is a fair answer.
Absolutely.
Right, and that's an answer I would prefer to hear, rather than giving maybe an inaccurate answer. We've had that answer a couple times, like, I'm not sure, but we can certainly find out for you. So typically it's about availability of weird items.
Yeah,
like, hey,
right.
do you have that? We were talking about like 2.5 inch by inch and 3/8 loop tops, an inch and 5/8 loop tops. It's like, why do you need a pallet of these? Like, listen, I don't know. As a fencing professional, I don't know.
Right.
And they're aluminum, but apparently the good people at Amazon would really like to have a
Yeah,
pallet of them,
that's
and
right.
we like to keep them happy.
You're willing to ship them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep 'em
We can
coming.
make this happen.
Right.
And so that was my question to Russell. Like, do you have them? He's like, I don't show them in stock. When do you think you might have them? I'm not sure. Let me double check, and I'll get you an answer.
Yep.
That's perfect.
Yep.
Instead of, well, you know what? I probably within the next couple of weeks, and then a couple of weeks go by, and you're like, well, they're not here. If this sounds like an event that I've been through, it has been not with you guys, but elsewhere. Well, we think it's in a couple of weeks, and
Right.
a couple of weeks go by. What do you think? Yeah, probably a few more weeks. Okay.
Giving you the easy answer to get you off the phone, move
right.
on to the next customer, and so
Yeah.
that doesn't work out.
Yeah, I said, you know what? That's really weird. They're still not here, but we'll let you know.
Yeah.
That's not an answer I can give my
That's
customers.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's catch up with a few comments because I know they are stacking up. Appreciate it, guys. If you got questions or comments, drop them in the comments below. Let's see. So this is a good question. So Chris, with Cirque Distributors, has a question. Are supply chain issues getting better with hinges, latches, drop rods, and springs for 2023?
Yeah, they have. We're definitely freeing that supply chain issues up, and it's much better. We're actually at the other end of that now, where
Okay.
we probably have a little too much inventory than we feel comfortable with. But
Sure.
But there still are some items that, as you get through, when you stock over 5,000 items, there are some holes that come up every once in a while. But for the majority of it, we're in a really good spot.
That's been my experience lately. Is listen, the pandemic era was a wild time for everyone.
Absolutely.
And you can only deal with what you can do. You guys don't control ports, right? And that was, Chris, I absolutely understand the question because I think everyone kind of went through that. But
Yep.
the answer is it is getting better. They're on the other side. So I can tell you from being in the nationwide warehouse,
Yeah.
it is packed.
It's packed.
It is
Yeah.
to the rafters packed. And that might almost be literal. Those racks go really, really high.
Yeah.
So it's impressive to see.
24 feet up, and then 150,000 square foot warehouse there, and then we've have a makeshift warehouse out back with 25 containers out
saw
back
that.
there. So yeah, there's a lot of inventory right now. So
There's a good amount of stuff there. And you want to talk about an efficient team.
the best.
They move a lot of product.
They move a lot of product.
Just in the time that we were walking through the warehouse,
Yeah.
it was always constantly moving.
Yeah.
The wrapping machine, holy cow.
Yeah, you're a little envious there. I saw that a little bit. Yeah.
Listen, you've been through my shipping area, so now you kind of feel my pain as far as I would love to have a wrapping machine for sure.
Yeah.
And our Eric would love to have a wrapping
Yeah, I
machine
bet.
as well. I saw that thing. I was like, oh, this is so nice.
Yeah.
One day, goals.
That's right.
Those are shipping
Yeah,
goals.
Nicole and her team do a great job there at Nationwide. I know you got to meet with Nicole a little bit this week,
Yeah.
but just a fantastic job for the amount of inventory we move.
You want to talk about someone who holds a ton of pride in her team, in the process.
Yeah.
I mean, it's her dedication to the team. So on Wednesdays, they wear pink.
Yep.
Right. So Wednesday at the trade show, she's wearing pink.
She had it. Yeah.
Now she's halfway across the country.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Not necessarily with her team, but her team wears pink on Wednesdays.
That's right.
So there she was in pink. Talk about, you guys have, I've told you this off air, but you guys have an incredible team, an incredible culture, and I think she embodies that.
She really does. Yeah.
So, and it's probably testament to how quickly we get things.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Her team is one of the ones that's responsible
Takes a
for
lot of
how
pride
quickly.
in that. Yeah. Yeah. And Nicole had her background is in customer service. That's where she started. So she understands
makes
when
sense.
a customer doesn't get the product they need on time, it's a problem. So
Yeah.
she takes a lot of pride.
You can tell. Just going through the warehouse, she was really, really proud of the team. And I tell you what, that's something I can appreciate as someone that talks about team first.
Yeah.
Right. She's like, you know what? My folks are really good. It wasn't necessarily about her warehouse and about her process. It was the team. Those are the good ones.
Yep.
Those are the good
Yep,
ones.
For sure. Focus on continuous improvement as well. So that's,
Right.
Yeah. Love that.
The cleanliness of that warehouse,
Yeah.
walking in there, that tells you what you need to know about the team is if the walls are dust free, if there's not little bits of something in the corners.
That's right.
It tells you a lot about the other things. If you can get the little things really right,
Yeah.
the big things are already done.
Yeah.
So it's
my old boss used to say, go in the back door, and you can find out a lot about a company right away.
Yeah.
And that's go in any door nationwide. You can find out a lot about what they are and what they stand behind.
when I felt that it wasn't. I've been through facilities where there was a cleanup process in the last few days.
Sure.
Like, guys, we got people coming through. We need to get things squared away. You can tell this was just another day, business as usual.
Yeah.
I felt bad that we were in there for a while because I feel like we were in their way, or I was in their way a lot. But they were really gracious, just working around us and still continuing to get a bunch of stuff out.
Yeah, and they enjoy having tours come through because they do take a lot of pride in that. And I think I said on the last podcast, you can come in any day of the week,
Sure.
unannounced, and that place will look just like that. So,
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. Absolutely. Billy Grove says the most unused. Bill, I got a question on this. The most unused got to have tool on our truck. Which one? Probably not the nail gun. Maybe
the mini palm.
Maybe the palm nailer.
Yeah, maybe the mini.
But it is a must-have tool. So
Yeah,
it's not a tool you would use every day.
that's right.
Right, so you wouldn't, and Billy, I think I know where we're going with this. Yeah, it's not a tool you use every day. It may not be a tool you use every week,
Yep.
but must-have tool, or got to have tool, because when you need it, you really probably need it.
Yeah, you're a little frustrated the day you don't have it on the truck.
Right,
Trying to get that last nail in, and it's just not. It's almost impossible. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's always the last nail.
Yeah, that's
Right,
right.
you're
yeah.
ready to get out of there. You're ready to collect a check.
Yeah,
you're ready
that's
to
right.
move on.
Yeah.
And it's this one. You got to MacGyver a solution together, and
Right.
fair point, Billy. Unused but must have.
Yeah,
and they don't
absolutely.
take up a lot of space.
I don't know. Absolutely.
Scott has his in his glove box
Yeah.
because he wants to make sure he knows exactly where it
It's at,
is.
yeah.
And
Get lost in the toolbox.
that's right. Jason is with us. Morning, Fence fam. Tail end fencing in the house. Jason, how are you? Divine Fence is with us. Welcome, Divine. Hello, Joe, Eric, and Caroline. Fence fam, hope everyone is having a great weekend. Your friends in Massachusetts. Hello, Divine Fence. And we answered those. Steve Shire. Steve, another friend from across the pond. Hi, all. Nearly missed the show. Got in just in time. Steve, we're happy to help. And we still got a fair amount of show left, so you didn't miss anything. Glad you're with us. So we talked a little bit about Red Promise. I think we've got a video queued up that talks a little bit about Red Promise, but also does a pretty good job of illustrating different tools that are available.
Yeah,
we will play that now.
Great.
Oh, all right. Let's act like we know what we're doing.
Hey, I'm Greg Gibson. I'm with Prime Source Building Products, and I'm going to talk to you about our Grip Right nailers. First of all, is an awesome product that K-Supply is stocking. It is our Grip Right twist nailer. It is positive placement style, where the nail is actually the guide. Place the nail in the hole, fire it, shoots right through the connector. The second one.
So the background here kind of tells you what you need to know about Grip Right fasteners. So one, this is an impressive display of fasteners, but there are aisles like this at the Tampa facility of just, I'll be honest, I didn't know there was that many configurations of nails. Just nails.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's, you start thinking of how many degrees, the 15 degree, the 0 degree, the 21, the 28, the 33, it just goes on.
On and on.
If you want to be able to, frame or fence or whatever you're working on, you have to have all of them. So
Sure. Yeah, it's the Grip Right lineup is impressive.
And then we also, as you see up in the top left-hand side, there's tubs.
Yeah.
We started also putting them in 1,000 count tubs. Just you can reseal it. So if you have it in your truck for a while and just a small job, those are great as well. So.
Well, and if you guys watched the live where I went through the escape room, we found out just how hard those lids are to get off of the tubs. They are securely on there. Now, young Braden here figured the key to it out. I was opening them from the wrong end, actually, which would explain the time problem. I spent a solid 2 minutes trying to get them open and open them from the wrong side. But I will testify that they are securely on there.
That's right, yeah.
There's nothing more frustrating, and we've had this with the screws that we used before, where the lid pops off, the top pops off, and all of a sudden in your toolbox you've got your your tool carrier, you've got 1,000 screws just hanging out. Or
Yep.
so I dropped one of these one time and sent screws all over the fabrication shop.
No, amazing.
So
It's a great day.
we're still finding screws like there, and this wasn't recently.
Right.
We're still finding screws that have rolled out from under a shelf or something. So
Yeah.
I can appreciate how firmly these lids are. I would rather struggle with them to get them off than have them come off when I don't want them to. Now it looks like we might be getting ready to talk about it, but it looks like there's a compressor there as well. You guys really carry the full gamut as far as kind of start to finish.
Yeah, so whether you're looking for a plug-in compressor, gas compressor, have them all. That's one of our smaller ones, for finish work. Finish work, but we also have the wheelbarrow compressor, 2.5 horsepower, 4-gallon compressor, and with no flat tires on them. So basically, good for any job site.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we're a little limited on space in here, but we had looked at one you guys brought with you beforehand. These things are impressive. One, about how compact of a package they're in. They come in a pretty tight package, but all the capabilities. Can you go in a little bit more detail of the features?
Yeah, so they've done a great job designing it. It's got a roll cage design on it. So if that thing falls off the back of your truck, it's not smashed into a bunch of pieces.
Sure.
Recessed gauges on it. It has 2 quick connectors on it, so you can run 2 tools at the same time. It's typically those 2.5 horsepower compressors run off about 3,400 RPMs.
Yeah.
This one's run off about 1,700, so very quiet.
Yeah, less noise.
Yeah, less noise. At startup, it runs on 12 amps. Probably nothing more annoying as you're starting to do your job is you pop a breaker.
Yes.
And you don't have to deal with that with these.
Well, we talked about that point specifically for a minute because we use exclusively gas operated right now because invariably our customers aren't home.
Yeah.
You pop a breaker, and I just know in the back of my mind that's the same circuit that their deep freeze is on.
Yeah.
You can't get in there. You can't reset it. Now all of a sudden we're buying groceries that were in the deep freeze, that sort of thing, and we have a customer that's less than happy with us.
Yep.
So, and we've already started off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
Right. No matter how good of a job we do on the fence, we've had a misstep there in the beginning.
Yeah.
So 12 amps at startup.
Yep, 12 amps at startup, and it just again backed by the Red Promise. We've got a 1-year warranty on it, which is industry standard.
Yeah.
But 30 days out of box return policy. So again, we want to make sure we know that when you're on a job site, it's your reputation.
Yeah.
We want to give you the best tools out there, and reliable and durable tools as well. And so the other thing they'll say on the compressor is that it's a brushless motor.
Nice.
Oil splash brushless motor. So you're going to get about 10,000 hours off of that, and that's well above industry standard. And so they've done a great job, like I said, designing it, engineering it, and so.
I like that a lot. One area I'm thinking about that we'll use it a lot is in enclosed facilities.
Yeah.
So whether we're inside, whether we're doing some repair work inside, or we're trade shows, setting up for trade shows, that sort of thing. I think that could come in handy, as well as obviously doing outside work.
Yeah.
But when we're setting up for trade shows or we're doing any interior work, we always have to have the compressor outside.
Yeah.
Those things are pretty loud. Yeah. And then have to run hoses, snake them all the way through the building to wherever. Hope we have enough hose to reach wherever we are.
Sure.
So it seems like this is going to solve that problem pretty easily.
Yep, for sure.
Very good, very good.
Is our Grip Right framing nailer for all your framing needs. Case Supply also stocks this wonderful product. Comes with dual loading system, loads on the top, loads on the back. Has our True Drive technology, which recycles exhaust air to load the next nail. Features an aluminum rafter clip instead of a plastic like most other products have. It's not going to break. Comes with a swivel fitting so it won't tangle. And both of these wonderful tools come with a 7-year warranty with the Red Promise system. Okay, the Red Promise is actually an anagram for reliable, efficient, and durable. Pretty much says it all. All of our Red tools come with the Red Promise. Also a 90-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're unhappy with it, return it to Case Supply, and we'd be happy to refund them for you as well.
Very good. Now, you mentioned Case Supply, so that was where we found the video of. So you would return it to the dealer that you had bought it from.
Yeah,
you don't
absolutely.
necessarily have to go find K Supply and return it to
Michigan.
them.
Yeah. So shout out to Greg Gibson there, who
Absolutely.
did a great video there for us, and that we pulled from their website. So yeah,
Very well done.
one of our
Very well
guys.
done.
Yep.
So I wanted to show that because I want to try to share with the audience the experience I've had with you guys as far as real easy to work with, bought a wide range of tools to get the job done. Sheremy's got a point here that so says, I have a job set up for Tuesday that has about a 1 foot clearance from the AC unit, so palm nailer's a must.
Absolutely.
Great example
Yep.
of where it would come in handy.
And also, not an expensive tool. So some of these tools, if you're paying $500-600 to have on your truck, it's a little bit expensive. That you're very very inexpensive but a quality 7-year warranty still on the tool. So
Well, and that's perfect. So if it's going to sit in the glove box and ride around, you don't want a huge investment in there.
Yep.
But like I said, when you need it, you need it.
Yep.
So Sherman said, maybe not a must, but I am grateful to have a palm nailer for the small places. When you do need it and when you do use it, you are grateful to have it.
Absolutely.
I honestly hadn't heard of it until you guys sent a care package with one in it, but as soon as I put it in my hand, like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
And then I started to kind of mess around with it.
Sure.
The swivel air connect is like, oh, this is right. What is the weight on this? Any ideas? It's really light, but I can't say that enough to let everyone here know.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up.
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that.
Well,
That's the answer.
Braden's looking at.
Okay.
That is the correct answer.
Yeah.
That is a good answer. So let's talk about the hose for a minute.
Yep.
Now this is 1/4 inch, but let's talk about hose in general. The hoses that you offer. So this is a polyurethane hose.
It is, yep. So we have a polyurethane hose, 1/4 inch by 100, 1/4 inch by 50, 3/8, 50, and 100 as well.
Okay.
The beauty of the polyurethane is if you do get a hole in it, it's field repairable. So you can actually just cut it, put the new swivel on there, put the swivel on there again and fix it, and you're ready to go again. So
I like that.
Might have a shorter hose, but you're
Sure.
also still able to keep working.
If you're able to finish the job,
Yep,
then
that's right.
you'll put up with a shorter hose.
Yep. Yeah, so it's a durable hose, a great product, and you see that it's blue, and it doesn't fit into our red promise, so we've actually now just come out with a red hose as well.
Very good.
Polyurethane as well. And,
Very good.
So that's going to be hitting the shelves shortly.
Okay.
We also have a hybrid hose, which has gained a lot of popularity over the last couple of years. It's a tool it's a hose that in cold weather is not going to get really brittle and tough to work with.
Yep.
And with polyurethane, you got a little bit of the recoil, so
Sure.
your hose is wanting to sling back into a circle there, but you won't have that with the hybrid. So
Okay.
yeah, it's something else that we just developed. Will be hitting our shelves here very shortly as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, they retain a lot of memory in the winter.
They do, yes.
But I would almost take that just for the field repair option.
It's
just to be able to, because listen, it never happens the beginning of the day on a Tuesday. It's always Friday evening, wrapping up the project. You want to get back to the office and get home. And that's when you hear the
Right.
and you lose pressure on the gun. And
Yeah.
Anyway, so polyurethane hose. So once again, Scott likes using these a lot.
Yep.
He said they're a quality hose. His point on it was a quality connector.
Yeah.
He said there's other hoses out there that maybe use a different connector or a different quality connector, I guess. He said, listen, he goes, that what you need to talk. I'd ask him, like, hey, how are they? What should I talk about?
Yep.
Talking to the guys that use this day in, day out. He said, you need to talk about the quick connection fittings. Yep. They're easy to get on. They're easy to get off.
Yep.
They don't stick when it's cold.
That's right.
So you guys
And you're
obviously
not going to find them on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
You don't find them on a lot of the hoses as well. So it's there. So you're ready to go. You snip a few of those, ties there, cable ties, and you're ready to roll right away. So
You can just-
got
yeah.
everything you need.
That's a fair point. Yeah. So we dealt with that over on the soft wash side where we would order the hose in,
Yeah.
and then we'd have to order the fittings separately, and then we
Right.
have to put them on and hope we got it right.
Yeah.
Very good. So you guys really do cover the point I wanted to make here is you guys cover it from end to end. As far as you start at the compressor, you go through the air hose, it goes to the gun, to the nails it's shooting.
Yep.
Front to back options there for you.
Yep. Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about the Trident. Yes.
Weighs 1 pound, by the way.
Weighs 1 pound.
There you go.
A singular pound.
Yeah.
I knew it was light, and I didn't want to guess at it.
Yeah.
I was if I were going to guess at it, I would have guessed 2 or 3 pounds.
Okay.
So this is why the correct answer is.
Yeah.
I'll find out and let you know.
That's right. We got Braden back there. Doing
1
his work.
pound. That is impressive. All right. Let's talk about the Trident SS. Let's start it off with a demo, because then we can kind of talk through what's going on. So we've got it unlocked. Now, for the locking mechanism, I know on the Trident 10 and 20 inch, they come either keyed alike or keyed separate. Is this the same situation?
Yep.
Okay.
Same, yeah.
So we typically like to order them keyed alike, because the keys go missing.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than a customer calling and saying, hey, could I order some more keys? That could be interesting if they're keyed separately.
Yep.
So we can order them keyed alike. We talked about the fact that if someone has a Trident, it's a direct swap. You can upgrade directly to the SS.
Correct.
So young Jackson, my 5-year-old, is going through the backyard. Now, he's not supposed to be in the pool, but if you guys have ever met Jackson, you've never told that kid what he can't do. Well, and actually you don't tell him what he can't do, because that puts it on the top of his I want to do list. So you got to find a way.
Takes after his dad maybe a little bit on that?
No, he gets that from his mom. He gets that from his mom for sure.
Okay.
No, he just gets his high intelligence and his strapping good looks from me. The troublesome's got to come.
Right.
Got to come from mom.
Sure.
But so he's in the backyard. He's not supposed to be in the backyard. Maybe I'm in the house. Maybe I'm doing whatever I'm doing. So the minute he opens this thing. Braden, can I hear that? So the problem with these mics is they're pretty directional. I hope it's coming across how loud this is. So like I said, we heard this, 50, 60 feet away on the show floor, above the crowd noise and that sort of thing.
Sure.
So just the minute it opens,
Yep.
I get an audible warning, hey, this gate's opening. Right now, it also gives a visual.
Yep.
So say it's in the evening time or something, we could also verify that visually.
Yep.
Hey, this thing's opening. Now, so he opens it. So he's opened it. Now, Jackson, like I said, is 5, and he's not great at closing things. Now, we've got Cornerstone 2 hinges on it, so it's going to close really well, but maybe it doesn't make a good connection. Or maybe he's blocked it open somehow.
Yep.
So now we know the gate's open.
Yep.
Now, how long does it take for this to go off?
That was 15 seconds right there.
15 seconds of this gate being open, and it will just continue to go until this gate's closed.
It will. Yep. Ear piercing, pretty high pitch tone. Yep.
It'll get some attention.
It'll
get some attention.
yeah, for sure.
Similar to like a car alarm, it seems like. I mean, it gets attention. So we know Jackson's opened the gate, and we know maybe he's holding it open for some friends, or maybe I hear that and I'm like, wait a minute, Jackson's right here.
Mm-hmm.
So now I know, wait, this gate's been opened. It hasn't blown open.
Right.
It's not, the wind hasn't blown it open. It has been physically opened.
That's right.
Right. So we know we got to go check on this gate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and you had mentioned earlier that a lot of codes are starting to call for this. And he's having an audible warning when the gate opens, which makes sense because at least there's at least one county here that's requiring that on inside doors. Makes sense, though.
Yep.
You want to know, hey, this gate's open. Or maybe you're playing in the pool.
Yep.
Now, Jackson also has a tendency to sneak off and go want to do other stuff.
Sure.
So maybe we're playing in the pool,
Yep.
and then we hear,
Yep.
all right, so what's he doing? Where he's not supposed to be leaving or anything like that. Or there's a neighborhood kid in the yard or something like that. So the audible warning's huge.
Yep, it is.
So, but other than that, this operates much like a Trident latch.
Exactly. So the same brackets. So actually, if you do turn it sideways,
Yep.
you can see you have your same 2 external
Okay.
latches that you're going to
Yep.
put it. So if you do have a current Trident latch and you want to switch it out for a Trident safe signal, all you would have to do is slide the original Trident off and put the Trident safe signal back on.
Yeah, just right here. If you don't have a Trident latch on, though, I can tell you from the field install point of view, these things are incredibly easy to install. I mean, you're looking at the 2 brackets it takes to install these things. Incredibly easy to install, incredibly easy to upgrade. They're incredibly easy to get a hold of. Shameless plug on ozfence.store. We sell both. Well, right now we sell the 10-inch and 20-inch. We don't sell the SS. When do you think these? Is there a timeline for hitting the market?
Yeah, so we're looking at fourth quarter of 2023. So that's a safe I think a safe answer there on that.
Yeah, so keep an eye out
Yep.
for 'em later this year. We'll probably do a video on them as they release because
Absolutely, that'd be
I
great.
think these are incredibly helpful to have on a pool. You guys know I like showcasing products that I believe in. If I had a pool in our yard, this thing would be going on it just because I have a Jackson. And I have a feeling there are other Jacksons out there that we need to keep an eye on, and we need to know if they're coming in or out.
Absolutely.
Very good. So keep an eye out for later this year, fourth quarter this year, for the Trident SS.
Yep.
Very good. Now, does it come in different heights, or this looks like the 20-inch?
That's a 20-inch. So right now we're going to launch with the 20-inch black.
Okay.
And then we might look at expanding.
Sure, perfect. The 20-inch makes sense because then you can adjust the height.
Yeah.
4-foot fences are pretty common, but we've got to meet pool code, so you got to get them up and out. So 20-inch makes the most sense. Very good.
Yep.
So guys, keep an eye out for the Trident SS and 20-inch later this year.
Yep. Great.
I'll also tell you about this Nautilus hinge.
Okay.
It is no joke.
Yep.
Opening this thing,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
you got to put a fair amount of force on it
Right.
to get this thing open. So props to the Nautilus hinge.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
It almost works a little too well.
Yeah,
it almost
that's
works a little
right.
too well.
Yep.
But another option from Nationwide. So while it's up here, we'll talk about it. Not what we intended to, but so a lot like the Cornerstone hinges, it's adjustable, right? I see vertical and horizontal adjustment. It is incredibly well built. So it's a steel hinge instead of a composite hinge.
That's right.
What would the use case for the Nautilus be? Probably a wide range, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have a water park in the Clearwater area.
Okay.
We see it to enter and exit the pool area because
Okay.
it's self-closing, so you have an active and you have a dummy hinge, and they
Okay.
work together simultaneously.
Nice. Very good. So, guys, if you're looking for a self-closing hinge, the Nautilus is a good idea. I particularly like the Cornerstone, and maybe because that's just what I started out
Yep.
using, and you old habits die hard sort of
Yep.
thing.
You see it a lot on the ornamental gates. I actually have a park in my neighborhood as well that has the Nautilus on it, and so I walk by it every day with moose, and but yeah, it's that's mainly where you would see it. So
Okay.
blends in with the ornamental fence.
And if you guys watched the show, then you saw in the live video, we talked a little bit about the new Cornerstone offerings. We also recorded a video that you guys will be seeing in the next little bit, in several weeks or so. Poor Braden. We recorded so much content at the Fence Tech where would hours of content be accurate? Probably.
Yeah, we filmed quite a bit. It'll be fun to go through.
I could see like his eyes glaze over at the end of the night where he's just thinking about how much editing is going to go into this.
Right.
But when we're there and we're with vendors, that's the time to start making it.
Yeah.
But we talk a little bit about the Trident SS in the video. We talk about the heavy duty Trident hinge, and is it the medium duty?
Standard duty.
Standard duty. So the standard duty being fully adjustable, the heavy duty being non-adjustable. But the key component of the non-adjustable is you also don't have brackets.
Correct.
So a little bit of a trade-off there. So watch out for that video. This is starting to feel like a real show where I'm like giving call-outs to videos coming in the future. Guys, listen, maybe not just a fence guy here in a little bit. I don't know. We'll have to see. Guys, if you got more questions for the Nationwide team, drop them in the comments below. We're right at an hour, so we're ready to land the plane maybe a little bit. So when can we see you next? When will I say we be in the fencing community? What do you guys have next up on your calendars?
So for Lockheed USA, we will be at SHDA
Okay.
in Orlando in April.
Okay.
So if you're there, come see us, come check our stuff out. And then for Nationwide Industries and Lockheed and Grip-Rite, the fence show in August.
In August, they're in Vegas, yeah. So that'd be the FWA show. Shout out Brian with the FWA, putting on a show out there in Vegas in August. So I don't know, getting a bunch of fence guys together in Vegas. We'll see.
It's gonna be a long
we'll
weekend.
see.
Yeah, a long week,
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I want to preface it by that.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to it. But I'm also going to be in Vegas 2 weeks later for my 40th. So
nice.
me and some friends are going there for the 40th. I'm not sure how good of an idea that is.
Yeah.
The last time I was in Vegas was probably 6 or 7 years ago. And I'm finally to the point of saying, I think I could go back.
Yeah.
I think I feel good about it. 2 weeks later might be a bit of a stretch. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. They haven't filmed Hangover 4 yet, so if you want to bring Braden with you, I think that would be great. We just get some footage.
Let's not. Let's not. I would like to be able to go back 2 weeks later for my 40th.
That's right.
That would be awkward if everyone else could go, but old Joe still had to stay home. There's pictures of me in the airport. They're like, listen, this guy can't come in. Let's not do that.
Yep.
Vegas is going to be a good time. Next, Fence Tech. So Fence Tech 2024 will be in Nashville.
Excited.
January 23rd.
correct.
I feel confident about that.
That's right.
Yeah, so we'll see. Again, you want to talk about could be good idea, bad idea sort of thing. Nashville, I love Nashville.
Well,
Great
and
place.
I'm talking to a lot of the vendors there. I mean, they're very excited about Nashville, and they're going to go big. So I think you got to be at Fence Tech in 2024. I think you're going to see that everybody's booth's going to be a little over the top, and that's what we like to do. So
every year I find myself saying it. Like a lot of vendors went big this year.
Yeah.
Like obviously the Nationwide team
Yep.
went real. I mean, with Lockheed, Grip Right,
Yep.
went really big. I saw that with several vendors. It seemed like we were at my salesman booth. We were there for a day there with the Know Before You Go studio all day, and we were there for a little while. But they were in a pretty big booth too. And as I looked around, a lot of these vendors have bigger booths this year than they had last year.
yeah,
I'm excited to see what next year holds.
that's right.
Now it's going to be there at the Bridgestone Arena, I believe is what it's called right now. They're on Broadway. So you walk out the doors and you are on Broadway. So
Very nice.
So I would say the Fence guys day one will be in great shape.
Yeah.
Day one's going to be the day. Day two, it might be a struggle.
Yeah.
It might be a
All right.
struggle.
They might be crawling off Broadway into the show the morning of.
Yeah. Wait, were you in that shirt yesterday? Like, just don't ask questions. Just don't ask
right.
questions. Like, Tootsie's kicked us out, and then we came back here to the show.
That's right.
But no, I'm looking forward to Nashville. 2025 is in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
So we were in Salt Lake City. I say we. The Fence Tech in 2020. I believe was Salt Lake City. So
Yeah.
I actually wasn't able to make that one. We had a conflict with another conference, but I heard great things about it. A lot of snow sports, a lot of snowmobiling and snowboarding. So will be very good. And of course, our friends over at Job Nimbus will like that because they're out of Salt Lake City, so it'll be in their backyard.
Wow.
But so Oklahoma City was in our backyard, so to speak. So we're about 4 hours away.
Yep.
We're in the Midwest chapter of the AFA, so it's kind of home turf advantage for us. Pretty excited for that. But I know the folks over in Nashville and up in Salt Lake City are excited to have it with them as well.
They are, yes.
So excited to see you guys at these shows. I mean, I'll see you before then, but excited to see you at the shows, see what else is coming out around the corner. There's some big things happening. There's some big things happening with Nationwide. Just coming down the turnpike that I'm excited to see come to fruition. The one thing I'll say about Nationwide, so we've talked, and again, this is going to sound like a sales pitch, but great at developing products. So if you guys watch a video, we talked with Eric Timothy about product development in-house. We talked about the 3D. Braden, what's the term for this?
3D printer.
3D printer.
Yep.
That you guys can develop in-house rapidly, prototype stuff. So you're developing it in-house really well. You're manufacturing it really, really well. You're getting it to customers really well. But you're also thinking to the future.
Yep.
Right. That's
right.
Talking to Eric Timothy, he is so excited. Like he's got all these, and he's like, you could tell he's like a kid. He's like, I've got all these things I want to tell you, but I can't tell you yet.
Yeah.
He's like, just know there's some big things coming.
Yeah.
All right. I'm pretty excited to see what's down the road.
Yeah, there's some things he's working on that he won't tell us. So yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. But yeah, so and that's the thing is we talk about Nationwide, the products, but just the team of people that we have, because as we talked about Nicole earlier, just the passion she has for doing the job right. Caroline and the marketing team, just the passion they have for doing the job right, and then Eric Timothy. And so I just think that it's exciting to be part of it and see what the future holds for Nationwide.
Absolutely. So my perspective, and we've talked about this a lot, is the culture that you guys have is evident. I don't know what I was expecting when we flew out, but I had obviously Michael I knew at the time. I had knew in person, but he was the only person I met in person. Now Caroline and I had talked on the phone and through Zoom at one point, but I hadn't met anybody else personally.
Yeah.
And then so just the welcome that Braden and I got was amazing. I mean, everyone from the top down was so gracious, and I've said this over and over. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but you guys were really good to us when we came, and the culture that Nationwide has is evident. And just because you get the same treatment, the warm hospitality from the top down. And the guys in the warehouse stopped, said, "Hey, how you doing? Can I answer any question?" I got in their way a little bit shooting videos, and they were great. Where some people might have been a little grumpy about being, they were really great. Hey, do you need anything else? Can I move this for you? Can I do any? I said, no, I just want to be out of your way.
Right.
But no, everyone was really great to work with. And it sounds like I'm talking about the warehouse guys a lot, but everyone from Russell and the customer service team, they're always great to deal with.
That's right.
It's obvious that Nationwide as a company puts an emphasis on culture. Can you guys speak to that for a minute? I guess just how does that come about?
Yeah, so I think that it starts with people like Nicole, the leadership of the facility, and really the Pink on Wednesdays. It's just a fun thing, but also we care about people. We care about the people, and there's been a bunch of our employees that have gone through cancer and whatnot, and so I think that just caring on people is pretty important to us, and then it just goes from there. So we actually just had a town hall right before our Premier Club for Prime Source and before Fence Tech, and we just wanted to how do we reinforce that? So we actually did a escape room in the warehouse. We shut it down for a couple hours, did a little escape room, had some games, and I think it's important that we work hard. We need to have some time to play a little bit and just have a good time with each other and continue to build those relationships. So
you guys have obviously doing it right. I mean, and it's always Matt and I were talking the other day where it's a series of constant improvement.
Yep.
Right. Like it's not something. Actually, so Ben Seegers and I were talking about this. It's not something you just install it one day and walk away from.
That's right.
It's a constant process.
Work at it.
But you guys obviously invest in it, whether it's time, effort, whatever. You guys obviously invest in it, and from my perspective, doing it really right. I've told you guys before, but I'll say it on air. I really appreciate you guys taking such good care of us, both when we were on site, but just as customers. I mean, the customer support we get is really, really good.
It's great to hear.
We really appreciate it. We also really appreciate the jersey hanging right over your shoulder.
Yeah, as I look at that video, I see that, and it just brings a ton of class to the studio, I think. And so a little bit of Tampa Bay right there, or we like to call Champa Bay.
There you go.
But anyways, I don't know about your St. Louis Blues. They may get a little offended by that. But
so here's a funny story about that jersey. So I wore that jersey home.
Nice.
I'm proud of this jersey. So I wore it home, and as we were hustling for a connection in Atlanta, I passed a guy I knew. We were at the gate. He was coming back to Springfield as well, and he said, "Lightning, huh?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah." Like
That's
not a Blues jersey. Like, listen,
yeah.
I'm a Lightning fan. That's the game I went to.
Yeah.
That's the only game I've been to. Talk about energy. Holy cow! I had such a good time.
Yeah,
like, it was. The fans were so nice.
Yeah.
Like that was, and and this might be true elsewhere also, but my experience being the fans were really nice. They played the Wilderness, and now Lightning won, so it was a good win.
Yeah.
But the Wilderness were really nice. They're like, "Hey, listen, good game.
Yeah.
Good game."
Yeah,
So,
yeah, no, it's a great fan base. It really is, and I haven't lived there. I've only lived in Tampa for 3 years, and so I'm just learning the fan base there. But
Sure.
but yeah, they're great, and so Russell's not a big fan. He's a St. Louis Blues guy, so we have to.
I can understand that.
Yeah,
I
we
can
got to get
understand
him
that.
a Lightning jersey as well at some point. But yeah,
It's the same color.
yeah,
it's
that's
the
right,
same
yeah.
color. And I'll tell you, it felt a little awkward for me walking through the airport wearing blue. I was like, I was out of my true colors. But
you were incognito during that one.
I was undercover.
That's right.
That's
yeah.
kind of nice,
Yep.
except for the big fence expert on the back. Like people
Well,
might have
that's
put
true,
two and two together,
Yeah.
but they would have had to look at it.
That's right.
But
Take him a minute.
But I think this just speaks to just how good you guys are to work with, guys. You watching out there, if you're looking for a good partner as far as fittings, but obviously not just for us, it started with fittings, and now it's gone on to hardware, fasteners. You can't go wrong with Nationwide. and they're really good to work with. I firmly believe my experience is no different than anybody else's experiences in terms of product that arrives, the customer service I get, the just white glove treatment.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you as well. We thank you for the relationship we have, and we want to continue to build it. And anybody that's watching as well, if that's not what you have experienced with Nationwide, give us a call. Let's work that out. Right?
Yeah.
We'll come visit you. We'll take care of that. So
I have to envision anyone that calls that hasn't been their experience. A general panic goes through Nationwide. I think they're like, wait a minute, whoa, we've got somebody that hasn't had that experience. But
well, things do happen.
Sure.
And
Sure.
Nicole, myself, Rich. I don't know if you met Rich at the show. He's a customer service manager and inside sales manager. We meet on a weekly basis to talk about things, what we call the voice of the customer.
Okay.
Because things do go wrong, and how are we going to take care of them, and then how do we prevent it from happening the next time? So every week I'll be on that call on Monday, and we'll talk about things that happened last week that we need to improve on. So continuous improvement, like you said.
Sure, and I'll give an example. So of your voice of the customer. So we got a shipment of bolts. So we ordered a ton of carriage bolts because we saw a ton of like female male hinges. So we get a ton of carriage bolts. Well, one of them came in. It was damaged in transit, and it was. The box it was in said the carrier's name on it, so we knew it was damaged in transit, right? So so I snapped a picture of it and I sent it to Michael at the time. I said, "Hey, just so you know, it came in damaged," and it was like I think it was 10,000 bolts in a box or something. Like I'm not counting them. Right. I'm gonna just assume they're here. Okay. But just so you know, this is something that happened out in the market. Yeah. I could care less, but someone out there might have a different experience. Yep. I got a call like 45 minutes later, like, okay, can you send more pictures? Can you tell me about when it was dropped off and this sort of stuff? And then the next day I got a call back of, all right, here's the process. We've identified the problem. Yeah. Holy cow. Yeah. Like this is on it.
When you ship out, we ship out typically about 150 to 200 orders a day. Wow. Using FedEx and hey, just like everybody else in the country, FedEx struggles with labor sometimes. Sure. And so you start getting a little quick and start damaging the boxes. And so Nicole does have an open line to FedEx, and we just, we charge them back and we fix the product and the problem and move forward. So it happens.
Well, and that's really why I was passing it on. It was, obviously it wasn't a nationwide issue, and it would have been very easy for Russell or anyone to say, listen, that's a carrier issue. Sorry, but that's not really us. It's them. If you have any questions, you could probably call their customer service. I don't know. That was 100% not the answer. It was, we're going to take care of it, and we're going to we're going to make sure you understand that there is a solution. Now we've got a solution in place. We've changed this. Now this is how it's going to go.
Absolutely. Yep.
So
great to hear.
Anyways, I say all that to say, if you guys are looking for a supplier, Nationwide is great. If you guys whoever you got currently get Nationwide through, if you're ordering, the Tridents, the Cornerstones, the Keystones, if you already have a Nationwide distributor, they also should have access to the grip right and locky items as well. Is that right?
100%. Yep, absolutely.
Very good. Very good. So reach out to them. Scott likes the nail. You guys will start seeing more of the Red Promise items, the red, the nail guns, obviously the palm nailers. You'll start seeing those pop up in the videos because our guys really like them. They're going to start using them.
Great to hear.
So you reach out to your Nationwide distributor and for more information on those. Divine says, glad to hear how much Nationwide is with their customers and team. Great products, and it's very interesting watching how they test their hardware. That was the whole thing we hadn't even talked about was the million cycle guarantee. Warranty. Yeah. Holy cow. Like it was, I could really feel we were in Eric Timothy's playground.
Yeah.
He was all about that. But just whether it's the cycle testing on the hinges, the saltwater testing, I was really impressed with that. And there was a test going on at the moment. He's like, I would love to show you this, but we're right in the middle of a test cycle, so we can't mess with it. Sure. Very impressive. Very impressive how much you guys put into making sure. Listen, when we say a million cycles, we do in fact mean a million cycles.
That's right. Yep, many times much more than a million cycles. 2 million cycles. We just to the point where we're like, hey, let's move on. Like it works, okay. So, but it is constantly going, and they're again continuous improvement, right? So, that mind of Eric's continues to work, and he's got a great team. We keep saying Eric Timothy, he's got a great team there of people that are working on it, but they're constantly trying to figure out what would be better for the customer. How can we make this easier to install? And how do we make this a better product for our consumer?
And I like that there is that thought is, hey, this product isn't done.
Yeah.
Like it's ready to go to market, but it's not done. Can we make it easier to adjust? Can we make it easier to tension?
That's right.
That was something he and I spent a long time talking about. I don't think we recorded, but he and I sat down and talked a lot about just how easy it is to adjust, like the Cornerstone 2 hinges. It's, for me, that made a big difference. I personally had a story where we were installing them on my neighborhood pool gate, and it was me and Jackson. Jackson isn't necessarily a helper. He's actually like an anti-helper. He means well. He wanted to help, but he would just grab to. He goes, "Hey, I'm going to hold this," and he would go hold it like across the playground. I'm like, could you hold that a little closer, please? I do need that. But it was nice that I could keep an eye on him and tension these things at the same time.
Right.
We'd used other hinges in the past, and the tensioning wasn't as streamlined.
Sure.
So the fact that, and that's one thing he said, that was actually an improvement, was that we had tested it. There were some things we could do to make it a little bit nicer, and we looked at another product that's kind of in development, as far as you had shared with me where you guys were 3D printing it.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about that is once you printed it, you're like, oh, maybe this isn't as intuitive as we thought.
Yeah,
maybe we could change the placement here. So it's good to hear that you guys are focusing on user experience also.
That's right. And places like Fence Tech are a great way to get feedback on our products, right? So not everybody that came through our booth were as impressed with our products as we are, and they said, hey, there's a change you could make, and we're like, man, we should have thought of that, right? I mean, it's a great feedback. So we take that seriously. We bring it back, and can we do this? Is that something we can manufacture? So,
yeah, absolutely. I think that speaks to your guys' commitment to the industry. Just, hey, can we make the best product possible? And the best, and to your point, the industry might have some feedback on that, on improvements. But
we need that feedback,
Sure.
right? I mean, we are in a test environment. They're out and doing the real world, putting up real fences, and so we any feedback that we get, we take that and say, okay, yeah, that's good. Let's see what we can do.
Absolutely. You guys do have a little bit of a tested environment there too, outside.
We do,
as well.
yeah, that's right.
What's it? The patio?
The party deck.
The party deck.
Yes.
The party deck. So that was interesting. See, we actually, so you guys actually have already seen at least one video with the zip latch that we talked about there on the party deck. That's an interesting area to where you can actually like install it, touch it, feel it, see how it works.
That's right. Yeah.
Roger says, I haven't watched a bad live stream, and I have favorites. I won't mention names like Caleb. Well, okay, like Caleb or Matt Warner. However, Nationwide is now on the list.
I appreciate that, Roger.
Well, listen, to be on the same platform as those guys.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
You got to be good. It's got to be good.
There yet, but we appreciate the comment.
No. Steve Shire says, professional products for pros. That is a very good way of putting that.
Great to hear that. Yeah, thank you, Steve.
So, guys, I'll wrap up the sales pitch, I guess, that if you guys don't use Nationwide currently, you should at least try them. I mean, generally good people to work with. I wouldn't bring people on the show to introduce to you if it wasn't someone I already believed in. We talk about this a lot, just about, sponsors, bringing on sponsors or anything like that. I'm not going to bring anyone to you guys and introduce them to you. If you and I had a private conversation, I would say anything different, right? I wouldn't say, well, they are a sponsor, but you should probably check out these other guys. No, they're going to become a sponsor because it's something that I do business with already. It's a product that we use and enjoy. We've had those opportunities come up the other way. I was saying, well, we don't use the product, but boy, they sure would like to sponsor us. And there's been some significant offers, but I want to be true to the viewers. I want it to be a good relationship for the sponsors. If it's purely transactional, that doesn't lead to long-term relationships.
That's right.
Caroline, that's one thing you and I talked about on the first conversation is I want this to be win-win. I want to introduce you to the audience, and hopefully the audience is introduced back to you. But I want this to be a long-term, right? I want the audience to see you guys around for quite a while. And I firmly believe this falls right in that wheelhouse.
Yeah. Now we appreciate the partnership. We don't partner with a lot of people either, and so we see yourself as a leader in this industry and really care about the industry, which means a lot to us because we do as well, and so it just makes a lot of sense to partner together. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's a really good fit. Good. I think both of our goals align really nicely, in that we're both trying to see the industry in itself succeed.
Yeah, great.
Guys, looks like that is all the comments. Of course, in true fashion, we're over time, but we never have hard outs, though. So or maybe not never. Sometimes we do, but we try not to, because as these conversations flow, we like to keep them going. If you guys are watching this on a recorded live, or the recorded version of the live, if you're watching it or listening to it on the podcast, shoot us an email, drop us a comment. You can always reach me at joe@thefenceexpert.show. Guys, if someone isn't familiar with Nationwide, how do they become more familiar with Nationwide?
So our website, I would definitely check out our website, our socials. If you want a catalog, you can flip through one online, or you can request one by mail by going to our page, scrolling down, and putting in your information, and it'll be right at your doorstep.
Very good. We didn't even touch on the website. The website is a whole tool in and of itself.
Fantastic.
I find myself using it a lot when like a technical question comes up. Yeah. I know I can go to the website. I can get technical specifications. Sometimes I can get technical manuals on whatever the fitting or hinge might be. Again, not our experience in the past. So you guys obviously put a lot of emphasis on making sure everyone gets the right information.
Yeah, that should. I mean, I truly tell people all the time, that's the first place to go, because you're going to find so much resources there. And if you can't find it there, then give us a call, and we'll walk you through whatever you're looking for. But it is a great resource. They've done a great job with it.
Absolutely. So guys, check them out. Nationwide Industries. They're friends of mine. I can't tell you guys enough how they have helped impact our business by making sure we have what we need when we need it, that it operates exactly how we expect it to operate. So if you guys aren't involved with Nationwide, you absolutely should be. I said the sales pitch was going to be over a few minutes ago, but I can't say it enough.
Thanks for the invite here, Joe. Appreciate coming to your hometown. It's good to you came out. You were gracious to come out to Tampa with Braden, and it's good to be here in Springfield and see your studio here. So it's great.
I was excited to show you guys around, because I love having people in, and you guys are so gracious to us. I was like, I get a chance to be gracious back.
Amazing.
There is a question here.
Okay.
Sharon wants to know, where's your Fence Fam hat from? Is it focusing? It's a Nationwide hat.
It is.
Okay. There we go. That is a Nationwide Industries exclusive.
Yeah. That's right.
Got them there at Fence Tech.
Yeah.
Are there any left?
There are.
We totally, and when I say I totally forgot that we were going to give some of these away.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Jeremy, let's say that. So for the folks that are still watching, the first 3 hashtag Nationwide Industries get a hat. Can we say that?
Plus Jeremy, because he brought it up.
Well, she did it. So Jeremy gets one by default. Okay. So can we say 3 more?
Sure.
I'm saying that as I say it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So hashtag Nationwide. If you guys are, What's that?
Nothing, you good.
No. You start. What?
I was gonna have them. The first 3 when we pick them, we'll have them send an email to either you or me.
Okay.
With the info.
The first 3 emails we get.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. The first 3 emails, because we also need shipping information that in order to, because
and it's not always accessible from the YouTube. So.
We did learn this last time. It was I don't want to say hard to track down, but there's a process here. So the first 3 people that email me, joe@thefenceexpert.show, we try to make that as long as possible. Say, I'd love a Nationwide hat. The first 3 we get in, we're getting a Nationwide hat. A Fence Fam hat.
Plus, I'll send a mini palm nailer with him, too.
Look at that.
And a mini palm nailer.
Saturday, we're feeling generous. Let's go.
Guys, look at that. So Braden has dropped it in the comments below, joe@thefenceexpert.show. First 3 emails I get with your shipping information said I'd love a Fence Fam hat and
Grip Right mini palm nailer.
a Grip Right mini palm nailer. I tell you what. Stevie boy, we'll see. We'll see about getting Stevie one as well. We will. If Stevie's one of the first 3 people to email, because Roger, well, Roger watches the show. You know, we got him hats finally.
Yeah.
And it actually wasn't nearly as hard as I thought.
Okay.
There's a shipping place in Republic called Rapid Ship Republic. That's where it would take all of our UPS stuff to ship through. Really, really good people. They had a live, and it just said, "Hey, if you're trying to mail things internationally, we make it easy." What? And it was right after we had this conversation in Tampa. I was like, "What timing?"
Right.
They might have watched the stream, but what timing?
Yep.
Like, so I just took the hat, so I boxed them up, took them over, said, "This is the address it needs to go to."
Nice.
And I was waiting for like, okay, please fill out this declarations form and this customs form. And
Took care of all that for you.
they did it all.
That's great.
And it wasn't nearly what I thought it would be to ship it. It was very reasonable. So
Good.
there you go. So Stevie Boy or whomever, the first 3 people to email me, joe@thefenceexpert.show, get a Fence Fam hat and a mini palm nailer.
Yep.
Very good.
Yeah.
Guys, I appreciate you watching. Guys, I appreciate you making
you.
the stop in here. I know it's another day in the trip and you're eager to get home, so I appreciate that a lot. I really do.
Good. Really appreciate you.
Guys, for now, I'm Joe Everest, the fence expert, reminding you that good fences make good neighbors. And I'll see you next time.